30-foot-long stealth-like hydroplane so low to the water it's often undetected by radar. Drop in a 3,000 horsepower turbine helicopter fighter engine. Pour in highly explosive fuel. Cap it quick, then climb into the driver's seat and ask yourself, what the heck am I doing here? Well, buddy, in a split second, you're doing over 200 miles per hour, bouncing wildly over the water on a contact surface no bigger than your TV guide, fighting for control every inch of the way. Water's a wicked race surface, and it can wreak havoc on a fiberglass boat. It's a battle for points on an always-changing battlefield. It's unlimited hydroplanes, today on ESPN Speed World. The 1995 Hooters Unlimited Hydroplane Series chasing the Eagle Snacks O'Doul's High Points Championship. Today on the Ohio River from Madison, the Budweiser Indiana Governor's Cup. The Ohio River, where Kentucky and Indiana have done battle for, well, near 200 years over who owns the river. Well, who does own it? Kentucky. They won that battle. But this time, instead of battling over the river, we're going to battle on it. The unlimited hydroplanes come to Madison, Indiana. Hello, everyone. I'm Dick Crippen. We are at the halfway point of our season. So far, we've had 4 races. We've had 3 different winners, 2 of them right here with me, the T Plus and the Smokin' Joes. Now, there is another team that has taken a win, but they have not done it with the boat they're running today, nor with the driver they have today. Let's find out about that down the pits with Steve Montgomery.
That's right, Dick. Turbine 4, or T4, as the Bud team calls it, is a brand new boat being raced here today for the first time. Now, when we show you the boat on the water, it's going to look very much like previous Miss Budweisers, but it's not. It is a radical new multi-wing design. In a conventional hydroplane, the deck and the bottom run from the front of the ram wing clear back to the transom. Here, an entirely different kind of lift is employed. An actual airplane wing does the lifting, and there's a big space here for extra air to escape, hopefully before it flips the boat over. The new design has had some success. Steve David's T Plus engine treatment is very similar, and he has won 3 times in the last 3 years. Now, for the first time, Mark Evans has put a multi-wing boat at the top of our qualifying ladder. One of our top contenders is yet to win in 1995, and Jim Hendrick is with that boat.
Well, Steve Dave Vilwalk qualified second highest here for this event in the Pecos American Dream. They did win 2 events last year and are looking for their first victory of 95. And what better weekend than this for the red, white, and blue boat? In the interest of safety, lane 1 will be left vacant for the entire day on the starts. On this tight turn, there will be a trailer boat. That'll be the Target Stores with Ken Muscatel. And by the commissioner's option after his accident last week, he didn't have to qualify, but he will be the trailer boat in the first 2 heats.
Here are the top 5 in the Eagle Snacks O'Doul's High Points standings coming into Madison with Miss Budweiser, Smoking Joe's, Pecos American Dream, T Plus, and the Wellness Plan in that order. Now, earlier during testing, the subject was speed, and Steve Montgomery drew a bead on that.
Guys, we talk a lot about speeds in this sport, but they are lap speeds around the race course. Today, thanks to the Madison Police Department loaning us a radar gun, we're going to be able to show you what the boats are actually doing on this front straightaway in competition. Running that 160-plus lap, Mark Evans and Miss Budweiser did 198 on the front straight. Mark Tate comes by us in the Smokin' Joe's, and our gun has him at 165, 166 miles per hour. Those are the kinds of speeds we will see in competition. That equaled a 145 lap around the race course.
Now, you have to remember that in an actual race, you've got 4 or 5 boats riding along with you in this, so the speeds vary just a little bit. Let's take a look at the lineup for the first heat.
Inside will be Mike Hansen driving the hometown boat, the Jasper engine and transmission. And lane 3 right next to him, Dave Vilwalk, the Pecos American Dream. Jimmy King, the rookie, is in the Wellness Plan in lane number 4. And on the outside, in the Holstead Turbo, Mitch Evans and Ed Cooper's only piston packer in the fleet. And as I mentioned, the trailer boat in safety will be the Target stores. Ken Muscatel driving. Here they come, Dick.
It is a flag start, Jim, and as we look at it, there goes the green flag, and there goes Pico American Dream. Dave Villwock immediately taking command of the field. Jasper, the green boat on the inside, is now riding in second place. Hard into the turn, and it looks Jasper hooked. Jasper hooked. Look at the rooster tail. You can see the trail where he kind of veers off. He gets back into lane 1, which is actually left vacant on the start. Wellness plan, already a problem for Jimmy King.
Yes, Jimmy King had a problem prior to the start. Made it across the starting line and went dead in the water again. Something happens as we look at the number 1 boat going under the Milton River Bridge down in the corner, number 3. And boy, that boat is really, really flying.
Dave Villwock in the American Dream is holding strong, and he is your lead boat. Now, a reminder to all the fans watching Unlimited Racing for the first time, Jasper Engines and Transmissions is owned actually by the people of the city of Madison, Indiana, where we're racing today. Needless to say, they have a little bit of a bias to the second place boat. But here's your leader, Dave Villwock.
And we're looking now at the Holset Turbo Mitch Evans. It's the only piston packer in the fleet. He is currently in 4th place.
There's a great shot of that boat coming at you. Now here's your leader coming at you. That's Dave Villwock in Pico American Dream. Again, second place is the Jaspers boat. Zodiac Sports Watches showing Villwock an average lap speed of 131 miles per hour. Don't forget to get that. He's got to be going a lot faster in the straightaways. 4 basic corners on this course and 2 long straightaways.
We're on the Ohio River. That background of our leader is the town of Milton, Kentucky. The river belongs to the state of Kentucky. We're, of course, on the Indiana side here in Madison, and we're coming down to complete lap number 2 of 3, and that boat is really taking a bounce underneath that bridge there.
On the straightaways, it doesn't matter too much as long as he keeps the nose out of the water, but boy, if he starts bouncing like that and loses the skid fin on the side of the boat, it doesn't grip the water on the turns, he's going to go for a ride he'll remember for a long time. Right now, his memories are all pleasant because he has seen no boats in front of him. Dave Villwock is your leader here on the Ohio River, and he's going to come down with the checkered flag in mind this next time around. They signal him with the white flag, which signifies the last lap. Now, there'll be 6 boats into the final. All the boats concerned in the early heats with getting their points, enough points to get into the final at this time. Dave Villwock in Pico's American Dream is your leader. He's going to get 400 points. Jaspers has settled for second place at this point to just get up into the finals.
Well, if he maintains second place, he'll have 300 points. And what a comeback from their flip in the Gold Cup in Detroit when they went right, flat on their back in the back chute. Had to do a lot of extensive repair to get this boat ready. As we look at our leader on the last lap, and here's our second place boat, Mike Hansen and Jaspers Marine.
So, Dave Villwock comes around, and it looks like he is having a little bit of problem out there. He's slowing down. Dave Villwock, the lead boat, has slowed down. He's lost power on the course. He was coming into the final turn. Listen to the crowd. They're going crazy because the boat from Madison, Indiana, where we're racing today, has now taken the lead. Pico American Dream going dead in the quarter. Mike Hansen bringing Jasper's Engines and Transmissions home for a win in the hometown of Madison, Indiana. There's the checkered flag. A great run. Disappointment for both Fred Leland boats. The Pico American Dream leading and then going down. Wellness plan never even got into the race. They did not start.
Oh, what a way to start the day for the hometown boat, Jasper Engines and Transmission, with Mike Hansen as we look at the man who led with only a quarter of a lap to go, Dave Villwock aboard the Pico's American Dream. Here's our Fruit of the Loom scoreboard results for Heat 1A. Jasper, Target, Holset, all getting points. Pico's American Dream and Wellness Plan, no points for not finishing or not starting.
What a happy day for this young man, Mike Hansen of Madison, Indiana, taking the first win of the day in Madison, and boy, is this one very happy crew. The 1995 Budweiser Indiana Governor's Cup is sponsored by O'Doul's, what beer drinkers drink when they're not drinking beer, and by Eagle Snacks. It's what you feed your face. The drivers for Heat 1B getting into the cockpit, getting ready to go out on the course to race. Steve David in the T+, a little good luck kiss from his wife, Wanda. Welcome back to the Indiana Governor's Cup in Madison, Indiana. Dick Griffin along with Jim Hendrick and Steve Montgomery. We've already had a winner in Heat 1A, Mike Hansen of Madison. Let's go down to the dock and Steve Montgomery.
Michael, you're chasing Bill Walk and he stops. Did you see what happened to him?
Oh, anything could have happened. That back straightaway is rougher than heck right now, and you know, anything could have broke on the boat. From what I understand, it might have been a throttle problem, but it's a lumpy one out there today.
Nice start for you, though.
Yeah, it worked out real well for us. First turn's real lumpy down there, and couldn't get through there very quick. So Bill Walk pretty much got away from us in the first turn there. But you know, if the water had been smooth, maybe it would have been the other way around.
Now let's check the lineup for Heat 1B. On the inside, it'll be the Smokin' Joes with Mark Tate. Lane 3 will be the Miss Budweiser, driven this race by Mark Evans in place of the injured Chip Hanauer. In Lane 4, T-Plus engine treatment with Steve David. And on the outside, it'll be the Miss Bustler Enterprises, driven by Jerry Hopp.
All the boats are up and running. It looks like we're going to have a good start. There it is. The green flag is out. T-Plus has taken the lead as they come down that front straightaway. Let's see if he can hold on to it. T-Plus in lane number 4. Oh! T-Plus goes up and over. Steve David, there you see the reaction on the dock. Steve David has gone over in the T-Plus. The boat literally took off of the water. It looked like he might have walked it just a little bit. It appears there's a hole in the sponson about the size of a bowling ball. I don't know whether that happened before or after. Look at the debris that's floating around in the water. The driver's still inside the boat.
That driver, Steve David, has oxygen supplied to his mask. He is underwater. The rescue team is on the way. A very concerned pit area with owner Jim Harvey looking on. And as I said, the rescue team is trained. Eric Stylau and his crew travel to each and every race, and they know how to get into each and every boat from the bottom down to get him out of there.
He has about 10 minutes of air available to him inside the boat, and that mask is fit very tightly over his nose and mouth, so he can breathe that air in. He is strapped into a cockpit. The cockpit itself is really built separate from the boat, and if the boat should totally break apart, that cockpit is designed to stay whole. He is covered by a F-16 canopy. It is supposed to be as watertight as possible. Now you can see Eric Stylau has gone onto the boat. He's opening the hatch. Let's watch closely and see how Steve David responds as they get to him. I'm sure that by now the cockpit is underwater. There you can see he's kicking to get out. He's kicking to get out of there. He was just waiting for him to open that hatch up.
Boy,
they're talking to him.
Look at that hole in that sponson. That either water damage, probably just prior to impact, or maybe it took that way when he did impact. But I'll tell you right now, there's a lot of damage to that boat. Let's look at it in slow motion.
Steve David is leading the pack as they go down into turn number 1. Now you'll see nothing but rooster tails, but watch very closely. All of a sudden, the T-Plus gets airborne. He's got nothing but water and air in front of him. No other boats, no other disturbances. He flies out of the water just like a kite, comes down hard on that inside left sponson, thus the hole probably caused by the crash.
Let's take a look at it from up above. You can see him start to fly there. His turn comes right out of the water. He does almost a 180, and he lands, as you said, on the inside sponson. And boy, he was a long time and a long distance out of that water before he landed, Dick.
Here's Steve David on shore being loaded into the ambulance.
Yeah, I was beating you, man. I know. I'll be back, Bernie.
Steve David yelling to Bernie, "Little, I was beating you, man. I'll be back." Well, hopefully he'll be all right. We'll find out about that shortly. But right now, let's get words from the owner, Jim Harvey.
First of all, Jim, Steve appears to be in pretty good shape.
Yeah, he's okay. He's got out of the cockpit himself and swam to the surface on his own.
What did he say about his trip?
Well, he said he was in the lead by a boat length, and he saw a roller in front of him that was like a concrete wall, and he knew what was going to happen, and he held on.
No word yet on your boat, though.
No, the boat's still upside down, and they're towing it in. I've seen a few pieces come by, so it looks like we have our work cut out for us.
Well, they look at that boat. The rest of the boats will restart heat. Welcome back to Madison, Indiana. This is the Pico American Dream Team. They're working on motor mounts. That's what happened in Heat 1A when Pico was leading, and they had to go out of the race. Meanwhile, the restart to Heat 1B.
3 boats with the Smokin' Joes on the inside. In the middle is the Miss Budweiser, and on the outside, running very hard, the Miss Bustler Enterprises.
There's the green flag, and we've got a start. It is going to be Mark Evans replacing Chip Hanauer in the seat of the Miss Budweiser in the lead. Now, as they come out, Smokin' Joe's trying to come up on the inside. Mark Tate has got himself a tiger by the tail, and he is willing to take the fight.
And Dick, let's not forget, he is the defending national high point champion driver from last year. And if he maintains good position this race, he could take the lead for the driver championship away from Chip Hanauer, who is back in Seattle with injuries.
The Budweiser leads into the turn. Now, he doesn't have enough room on the Smokin' Joe's to cut to the inside of the course. He must have 5 boat lengths, and that costs him. On the inside, Smokin' Joe's takes back the lead. This looks like it's going to be a race of which boat can accelerate the fastest out of the turn. Right now, it is the Miss Budweiser. She regains the lead at the end of lap 1.
And right now, Dick, it's Mark Evans with just 2 more laps to go. All preliminary heats are 3 laps. The finale here today will be 5. Second place is the Smokin' Joe's. Third is the Miss Bustler Enterprises. As we look at that fight off of corner number 2, a little airborne for both boats there. There's your average speed for the Miss Budweiser at 146.
And it looks like there is a problem on the course right now. It looks like the wing has broken on the Miss Budweiser. You know what happens, Jim? That corner number 2 will be consistently rough all day long. And that wing structure that Steve talked about at the very beginning of the show causes some of the water to come up against that wing. That's a problem that the T Plus had earlier, and they worked very hard to get it solved. They finally did. But you can see the water has pounded that wing, the horizontal stabilizer, loose on the Miss Budweiser. I don't know how that's going to affect the ride of this boat. This is really the first time in competition as the commissioner looks on.
Yeah, Bill Donor a little concerned, but right now with less than a lap to go, it's a comfortable lead for the Miss Budweiser. Second place to the Smokin' Joe's with Mark Tate. And Jerry Hopp is in third place in the Miss Bustler as down the back chute our leader goes for the final time.
And it looks like Mark Tate may have decided to just settle for the points in second place. After all, the real shootout is the championship race later today. He sees the destruction on the Miss Budweiser. He knows Mark Tate is going to keep that boat out in front as he possibly can. There's no sense at this point risking more damage to any more equipment. You can see it is whole for the Smokin' Joe's. They like it that way. They'll race again. Here's the finish coming down, broken tail and all. Checkered flag going out to Mark Evans. This is the first time this boat has been in competition. The first win for Mark Evans in this boat, only his second race for the Budweiser team. A great win for Bernie Little, the owner. Whoa, there goes the tail.
Our Frida Loom scoreboard shows the Budweiser with wins. Smokin' Joe second, Miss Bustler third. T Plus had the accident.
Bernie, the game plan worked, but he broke the boat again.
Well, oh, God, he really did. I saw the wing come off, but I didn't see the upright come off. But it ran pretty good without it, didn't it?
Well, if you're enjoying all the racing today, you're going to certainly enjoy it more as a member of the Unlimited Winner's Circle. You can get a patch, a newsletter, media guide, and if you call the number on your screen, you'll get this limited edition Unlimited t-shirt. And as a special bonus, you'll also get Diamond P's Thunderbolts videotape. So call today, 1-800-370-2335.
Mark, did the boat ride change when the wing broke?
It started to, but it could have been more psychological than anything. But I just kept an eye on it and kept on the flaps and brought her in first place.
The maiden voyage went well then.
It really did. I'm proud of the crew for being able to do that. Quite a design of a boat, I'll tell you.
A lot of damage and a lot more racing coming your way. Stay with us on ESPN Speed World. It's a long, drawn-out process to right a boat once it's gone over, and that's what happened here on the Ohio River. T Plus was leading when the boat flew. Let's check in with the driver and see how he's doing.
Steve, what happened?
Well, the boat was running terrific. I mean, we had the lead and out accelerating him and just caught a little bit of a roller off the shore, and it lifted the boat, and generally that tandem wing will come back down, but obviously this time it didn't. The boat was just, it was running super. It was really on the edge, you know, trying to win that race, and it just got too much air underneath it, and that's all she wrote.
As we look down at the Ohio River here in Madison, Indiana, the lane number 2 will be the whole set turbo with Mitch Evans for Heat 2A. Pico's American Dream in lane 3 with Dave Villwalk. Mark Tate in the 4th slot with the Smokin' Joe's. And on the outside as they come under the bridge, Miss Bustler Enterprises with Jerry Hopp.
Let's watch for the flags. It is a flag start, so they are going upwards of over 140 miles an hour for the start. And there's the flag. They are racing. Right off the bat, it's going to be a battle between the Smokin' Joe's, the yellow boat, and the blue Pico American Dream. Smokin' Joe's leading into turn number 1, and there you can see the inside boat with an advantage as Dave Villwalk takes over the lead on the backstretch.
As they come off of that corner down to the back chute, Dave Villwock has things pretty much his own way. Remember, he was knocked out of his first win when he lost 2 motor mounts and the engine came loose.
Now, it looked like there was one boat, but there's actually 2 side by side. Now the Smokin' Joe's goes past him on the straightaway. He wants to put a little extra speed going into that turn because the boat on the inside does have a shorter course, but he's able to hold that speed. He comes out as the leader. Here comes Pico American Dream again, trying to get up on the inside of Mark Tate.
And as we look back at 3rd and 4th place, we see the whole set Turbo and the Miss Bustler battling off of corner number 4. Let's go back to our leaders, and there's been one big shootout between these 2 guys. In the Smokin' Joe's Mark Tate, Pico's American Dream with Dave Villwock. These guys have really drawn each other in the sight of their guns. They've even traded paint. At times they race so close together.
This time the advantage goes to Smokin' Joe's. 2nd place, that boat right there, Pico American Dream. But Mark Tate has gone out. He took it in turn number 3 on the first lap. He accelerated hard into the turn. He was able to hold his speed high as they went around the turn, and he was able to hold onto the lead position. Pico American Dream now sitting about 3 boat lengths off of the leader. You didn't even see him as he came to the turn. He was just entering at that point. Smokin' Joe's gets a little bit light coming down there. Mark Tate will not back off at all if he possibly can keep it moving.
146, an increase of 4 miles an hour over his last lap, and they have 1 more lap to go. And as we talked about Mark Tate here in the Smokin' Joe's and Dave Villwock of Pico's American Dream, let me tell you, they've got a mini feud going here. They respect each other, but boy, they really can lose their tempers at times down in the pits. Here's our 3rd place race as they come under the bridge.
That's Jerry Hopp in the turbine-powered boat and Mitch Evans in the piston packer. As you look at the center of your screen, you can see the 2 boats fighting it out on the front straightaway now. There is the result in the last lap, but now Jerry Hopp has momentarily taken over 3rd place, putting Mitch Evans back to 4th. You can see, though, on the turn, Mitch comes up. He's got the lesser course, so he is able to power on with the piston packer. Here's your leader, Mark Tate. He is coming around now with the checkered flag in view. This will be a big win for this boat. A lot of points as they continue to aim at the final championship race later this afternoon in Madison, Indiana. Mark Tate gets the checkered flag and comes home a winner. Steve Woomer, the entire crew, very happy down in the pit area. This is the way they want that boat to race, and most importantly, there are no injuries to the boat. Congratulations to Steve Woomer from Budweiser owner Bernie Little. Look at this battle. This is the battle for 3rd.
Holy cow, a turbine versus a piston packer. On the left is the turbine. The Miss Bustler Enterprise with Jerry Hopp. But with the lead is the piston packer with Mitch Evans, but at the checkered flag, the turbine boat, Miss Bustler, is going to win out over the whole set Turbo.
Well, congratulations to Jerry Hopp. A good run out there. Smokin' Joe's takes the lead. The Fruit of the Loom scoreboard showing Pico American Dream in 2nd, Miss Bustler, and then whole set Turbo. A good race for Mark Tate. There's the crowd. They were getting behind him all the way. They want to see Jaspers back out. Let's go down to the winning dock.
Holy crap. Mark, it has to feel good to get around a guy that's been giving you some trouble.
Well, yeah, you know, we changed our strategy a little bit this week to plan on, hopefully we thought we'd be on the inside of him, but, you know, we definitely got shoot speed on him, and I think he finally found out how it is to turn.
It was your turn to decide the radius this time.
Yeah, it was, and, you know, it felt pretty good out there, and after that 1 corner, it was just a nice, easy boat ride for the Smokin' Joe team, and we got a heat win under our belt, and we just got to prepare for the rest of the day.
The rest of the teams are also preparing, and we notice there is a new wing on the Miss Budweiser as she gets ready to race in Heat 2B. We'll be back to Madison in a moment. Well, the Hoosier Hooter girls visiting dockside here in Madison, Indiana. Dick Crippen along with Jim Hendrick and Steve Montgomery as we continue with the Indiana Governor's Cup. Let's go to the Rancho Performance Corner with Smokin' Joe crew chief Jim Lucero.
As in all other forms of motorsports, computers are an integral part. Unlimited hydroplane racing is no different. In the past 10 years, we've developed computer systems that monitor up to 32 different channels on the race boat. Now, we take a look at engine parameters such as RPM, exhaust gas temperature. We look at the boat speed. We take a look at driver parameters like the throttle position and rudder position. And all that information is stored in this black box. And while the boat is running, it then stores the information on this little credit card size guy that'll store up to 1 million bytes of information. While the team is getting the Smoking Joe ready to go back on the race trailer, we pull the data card out of the onboard computer, we bring it into the race truck, put it into our desktop, type a few commands, and we get a printout, very similar to this one right here. Then we'll come back with that same data and put it into graph form, where we can analyze the data even more thoroughly. We can take a look at the driver parameters as well as the engine parameters here and use that information to optimize the boat speed. And it's very difficult to strike a compromise in getting the proper boat speed in the turns and the straightaways to optimize the speed around the course. The data that we've gathered here helps us optimize that speed and helps move the Smoking Joe in front.
Well, Jim Lucero has not only been around the sport, he has also helped design a lot of the things that you see on today's hydroplanes. Here we go for the start of Heat 2B.
The 2 Heat 1 winners have last lane choice, and they're on the outside, Dick.
As they come through the turn now, Jaspers is catching a rooster tail, and it looks like he spun in that rooster tail off of the Miss Budweiser. We'll see how, yes, he did. He spun around. He's facing the other way. Mike Hansen will now try to get the Jasper engines and transmissions restarted. Meanwhile, out front, the Wellness Plan is battling with the Miss Budweiser. Miss Budweiser to the left of your screen. Wellness Plan with Jimmy King, the rookie driver, to the right of your screen. Mark Evans now in the lead. Mark Evans doing a fine job of driving this boat. As we know, he had some wing damage in the first race. We'll see how the boat holds together this time around.
Make it interesting. The boat on your left just passing now is Mark Evans and Miss Budweiser. The boat he passed is his old boat, which is the Wellness Plan. So he's really battling his old haul.
Caution flag is out now for the Jaspers engines and transmissions as Mike Hansen continues to try to get that boat going. There's the target boat with Dr. Ken Muscatel driving. There you can see the lay of the land, and as they come into the turn, they have to be careful. In the center of your screen is the Jaspers. They want all boats aware, and here you can see Miss Budweiser really had to go to the outside of the course. Meanwhile, Wellness Plan is going down on the inside of the course for the second time today. Engine problems for the Wellness Plan as she goes down. Jaspers engines and transmissions gets going again and gets a big cheer from all the hometown fans in Madison.
He'll get a bigger cheer if Mike Hansen can make up the time. He is currently riding in third place as we look at our leader at 140 mile an hour. This is the Jasper engines and transmission in third place. Behind the second place boat right here, the Tigers Store's Ken Muscatel. But Jaspers will try to make that up before it's over.
Miss Budweiser in the lead, and right now unchallenged by any of the boats on the course. This has been somewhat of a demolition derby so far, with damage to several of the boats, the T Plus and the Miss Budweiser. And now Miss Budweiser finally getting a very, very good run. You know, we should comment, this is the first time in competition for this boat because the other boat they had been running came apart in Evansville last week. So it would be a real pleasure for Mark Evans to be able to finish in a boat that's whole. And at this point, it looks like that's what he's going to do. Mark Evans bringing the Miss Budweiser home with a checkered flag. A good run. Here's Wellness Plan back up and running again, now in third place. This is Jimmy King, the rookie driver. Here you see Mark Evans as he finishes, and he's got to be relaxing a little bit now, happy to have the boat. Oh, we were just about to say the boat in one piece. There goes the tail again.
Our Fruit of the Loom scoreboard shows the Budweiser, the winner. Jasper engines did finish second. Wellness Plan restarted for third. The Target Stores took fourth.
The Miss Budweiser crew will have yet another wing that they will want to repair on this boat before it goes back out. Meanwhile, look at that. There's a little dip in the wing from the Wellness Plan. We'll be back to Madison in a moment. Be a part of the world's fastest racing boats. Join the 1995 Unlimited Racing Commission's Winner's Circle. Collect special premiums that only URC Winner's Circle members receive. URC Media Guide, hydroplane poster, patch, newsletter, race reports, a Winner's Circle t-shirt, and much, much more for only $39.95. Credit card orders, dial toll-free 1-800-370-2335 to join the URC Winner's Circle. Order now and receive as a special bonus the home video Thunderboats absolutely free. Be a part of the action. The URC Winner's Circle. Call today. This is the view along the Ohio River in Madison, Indiana, the rich farmland that surrounds this community. It is true American heartland, no question about it. Let's go to the lineup of Heat 3A.
Dave Villwalk of Pico's American Dream inside. Smokin' Joe's next to him in lane 3 with Mark Tate behind the wheel. Mike Hansen in the Jasper. And Ken Muscatel and Target Stars rounds out the field on the outside.
Going down into turn number 1, it is going to be the battle between Smokin' Joe's and Pico's one more time. Now, remember we said earlier, these guys have had a little rivalry going on and off the course all year long. They've traded paint several times. Look at how the Pico American Dream had to plow through the waves that have already developed on corner number 2. Pico American Dream with Dave Villwalk, and look right on the outside. There is no letting up for either one of these boats. Smokin' Joe's with Mark Tate has the outside lane and has the lead going into the 3rd corner.
This competition is no surprise. Look at that second rooster tail come up off the skid fin as they go into the turn, and pulling on the outside is the Smokin' Joe's as he comes down to complete lap number 1.
To give the viewers a little idea of the speed, these boats will cover the length of a football field in just 1 second. 3rd place is the Jasper Engines and Transmissions, but look at the battle for the lead. Again, Pico American Dream onto the inside, again going through the waves, getting a little airborne coming out. He's trying to find additional power, but it's Mark Tate who accelerates on the outside first.
In that first turn, it looks like the Pico's American Dream, Dave Villwalk, challenges the course. Smokin' Joe's goes on the outside, loses a little ground, but stays in smooth water, and then comes up and takes the lead.
Now, the advantage between the inside and the outside is in speed. Your outside boat, the Smokin' Joe's, 139. Inside Pico's is going 137. That's an average lap speed. Now, the Pico's on the inside has got to be careful with that water coming through this turn. Ooh, look at the waves breaking over the top. That turn is so close to the shoreline, the water gets extremely rough because it comes back off of the shoreline and causes those big rollers.
Tiptoeing with the sponsor and tail walking is the Smokin' Joe's as he comes down to corner number 3. He's flying.
Mark Tate, as long as he's got good water, should be able to take this one without too much problem, because as you can see, Pico's has gone into 2nd place, now sitting about 6 to 8 boat lanes back. The checkered flag is already flying. Mark Tate sees it, and Mark Tate takes the win. A big one for the points. Let's go down to the winning top.
You know, you're not having that bad a day. You got the boat all in one piece, and you've got a lot of points.
Well, we haven't looked it over yet since this heat finished. Looks all right. I mean, so far it's been fine, but you know, kind of makes the owner a little older when that happens. But Smokin' Joe's performing great, and we're real happy with the progress so far today.
There's the Fruit of the Loom scoreboard for Heat 3A, and if you'll notice, the Target Stores, having been repaired since the Evansville race, gets no points for not finishing.
Mark, is it first guy to come down wins?
Well, I don't know. The water's a little sloppier that heat than it was the heat before with Dave Villwalk. He was pushing pretty hard that heat to try and beat us. He obviously needs the point to get to the front row, I think, for the final.
They are not going to be able to repair the wing on the Miss Budweiser, and they have no more wings, so she will go wingless, but she's got some company.
Well, you know, guys, in some sports you have to earn your wings. Here on the Ohio River, you lose your wings. Here's Jerry Hopp's ride. He's going out with one vertical, no horizontal, no vertical on the other side. Jimmy King's going to be racing with no horizontal stabilizer at all. And Ken Muscatel down at the end of the pit row here just came back with no wings at all. It's been a tough day for the wings on these unlimited hydroplanes.
Back here at the Budweiser Indiana Governor's Cup of the Ohio River, we're getting ready for Heat 3B. Dick Crippen is down on the dock with someone we haven't seen this year.
One man we've missed on the circuit this year is Bill Worcester, who had the Tide boat out here for a long time and did a good job competing. When are we going to see the boat again?
You're going to see it on the West Coast. We're going to be at Tri-City in Seattle, San Diego, and very possibly Hawaii, too. We'll be back next year, strong as ever.
You want to go racing, don't you?
I want to go racing.
And we're going racing as the inside is Miss Buster Enterprises with Jerry Hopp, the Miss Budweiser with Mark Evans in lane 3. Lane 4, Holtz at Turbo with Mitch Evans, and on the outside, the Wellness Plan with Jimmy King.
And let's point out one more time, they are not putting a boat in lane 1 until they go around the first turn. And the reason for that is because of that rough water down there, as sharp as that turn is. So we start with lane 2 and work outside. And right now, it is lane 3 that is leading. And that's the Miss Budweiser. Mark Evans riding without the horizontal stabilizer, as is his old boat, the Wellness Plan with Jimmy King. No horizontal stabilizer there. This is kind of a wingless race.
Lap number 1 of 3 here in the final preliminary heat as we wend our way toward the finals. We're looking at the leader, Mark Evans. He chose lane 3, and he's now out in front.
Mark Evans averaging on our Zodiac Sports watches at 136 miles per hour. Still a little battle going on for third place right now. Jerry Hopp isn't going to waste time and wait for Mitch Evans. He almost got caught last time around, so he's trying to get a little bit of room in there, but he's on the outside of the course. You can see the two boats now just coming down into corner number 1. Those are the two boats we're talking about, the little battle for third and fourth. As he comes around, Jerry Hopp almost appears to lose a little speed as he tries to skid it around. Mitch Evans tries to catch him up again. We talked before about the lane choice for the Miss Budweiser, going with lane number 3, and I'm wondering if he watched Mark Tate in the Smokin' Joes. I'm sure he did in the last heat. Mark was in lane 3, and he took the win over the Picos out of that lane, so perhaps he saw some good water out there. Second place, the Wellness Plan. That boat had engine trouble in the other 2 heats. Now up and running and doing fine. Jimmy King, a rookie, and he is getting a good baptism on this river in Madison, Indiana.
Battle for third between Miss Bustler and the Holset Turbo continues. About a half a lap ahead is the second place boat, the Wellness Plan, even farther up the chute, and coming down for the last time down the back chute, the leader, Miss Budweiser.
Look at this battle for third. This has really turned into something. Mitch Evans was able to come up on the inside of the turbine-powered Miss Bustler. There's your leader. No contest at all this time for the Miss Budweiser. Of course, they're probably happy with it, riding without wings and such. And now it looks like the other vertical stabilizer is gone. The vertical wing on the left-hand side as the driver sits in the boat is now loose on the back of the Miss Budweiser. She takes the checkered flag. It may be bits and pieces, but she's winning. And at this point, that's what the crew is really concerned with. The battle for third. Mitch Evans to the right of your screen. Jerry Hopp to the left. Let's see who takes it down to the checkered flag. Mitch Evans flies high as they come down. It's going to be Miss Bustler by a nose.
Fruit of the Loom, the results show the top 4 boats of Heat 3B. Let's go down to the docks.
You guys realize on the scorecard you've had a perfect day. The crew might not agree.
Yeah, I do. If that's a perfect day, that was a heck of a lot of work for that. But, man, the guys did a fantastic job putting the parts back on, and it ran without that rear stabilizer pretty decent. So I think we're going to be all right for the final.
Bernie, I'm afraid to say congratulations until we get a damage report.
Well, the damage is pretty bad, as you can see. We'll be in there, and we're going to win. So what else is there?
Well, they got winged again, or is that de-winged? We'll be back and find out in a moment. Dick Crippen along with Jim Hendrick and Steve Montgomery welcoming you back to Madison, Indiana for the Indiana Governor's Cup, but that is not the only cup this town has ever raced for.
The year was 1971. It was the Gold Cup, and held right here in the hometown Madison, Indiana on the Ohio River. The winner, Jim McCormick. The boat, the U6, community-owned Miss Madison. Coming right down to the wire in the final heat, it was quite an emotional moment. And the victory by Miss Madison seemed unlikely because the Atlas Van Lines had beaten the Madison boat in 4 previous encounters that season. Driver Jim McCormick would not be denied as he took the inside lane before the start. Took the lead in the first turn and streaked on to victory as the crowd on shore, whoa, they cheered on the hometown boat to its first Gold Cup victory ever. Perhaps the greatest day in Madison, Indiana. Jim McCormick and the Miss Madison became legend. And the citizenry continued their celebration in the streets late into the night. We lost Jim McCormick this past winter. We're going to miss him.
Back on the river, in the Ohio River here in Madison, Indiana, the Unlimited Lights have taken to the course for their final race. This is the latest breed of Thunderboats, and this is their championship. Now, number 10, High Pressure, Charlie Wiggins leads the field. Some of the other boats in the field, the Pay and Play, Dave Bender, he won in Phoenix. Mike Mamano, driving for Alan Vordermeyer out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, has won 2 races this year. But right now, all the attention on the boat called High Pressure out of Gadsden, Alabama, Charlie Wiggins. Charlie is driving first. There's your second place boat, McCubbin Ford, driven by Mike Mamano. Charlie Wiggins now heading for the checkered flag, as is the second place boat, Mike Mamano out of Webster, New York. He's getting a little bit of a wild ride out there, but holding on to it. And there's Charlie Wiggins, takes the checkered flag in the competition cams Unlimited Light Series. So Wiggins with the win, Mamano second, followed by Bender, Deal, and Steve Kerr. Returning to the docks, Charlie Wiggins congratulating his crew. They did a great job keeping that boat in there. Let's look now at how the Unlimited stack up.
Here's the way they stack up for points earned in preliminary heat action today. The wellness plan with Jimmy King won the provisional race over the whole set turbo and is qualified for the final.
The drivers are getting ready. It is going to be for the Budweiser Indiana Governor's Cup. It's going to happen on the Ohio River when we come back on ESPN Speed World. Madison, Indiana, the boat's warming up now for the run for the Budweiser Indiana Governor's Cup, the championship on the day. This is what it's all about. A lot of damage to a lot of the boats. How will they fare? Let's take a look at the lineup.
Lane 1 vacant, but lane 2 will be taken by Miss Bustler with Jerry Hopp. Lane 3, Mark Tate in the Smokin' Joes. Lane 4 will be Mark Evans and Miss Budweiser. On the outside, it'll be the Jasper engine and transmissions with Mike Hansen, and the 2 trailer positions. Trailer 1 will be Dave Gilwalk and Pico's American Dream, and the wellness plan with Jimmy King will be trailer number 2.
Standing down on the shoreline now, everybody standing to watch the start of this race. They're coming down to see if the green flag can go. Here's a crew that was planning to be there. Stephen David, driver of the T+. Thank goodness he's all right, but they got a lot of work on that boat before Dallas. Here's the start of the race. There's the green flag, and they're off. Miss Budweiser seemed to get a nose right on the start line as the flag flew. There's the Smokin' Joe's team trying to add a little extra horsepower by yelling from the shore. The yellow boat is the Smokin' Joe's. The red boat is the Miss Budweiser. They are side by side into the first turn.
Looks like the Budweiser in some rough water. I think the Bud is hooked. The Bud is hooked, and he's gone to the inside.
He almost had a problem with the Miss Bustler coming up. Jerry Hopp had lane number 2 on the start. Budweiser right in front of him. Right now it is Mark Tate out in the lead, and Mark Evans is trying to get the Miss Budweiser started again. But Mark Tate is not going to slow down. He is going to keep power on. He knows Dave Villwalk is back in that field. He saw the wellness plan come up and play strong in this field. He knows there's plenty of competition right behind him.
And remember, this is for all the marbles, and it's 5 full laps. And the Smokin' Joes and Mark Tate, after winning the last race in Evansville, looking for the first time in their career, their second consecutive victory.
Looks like Mark Evans has started to get some fire to the Miss Budweiser. Meanwhile, look at Smokin' Joe's takes that big wide arc around the Miss Budweiser. If there was any doubt in his mind, he now knows that that boat was dead in the water, and he's got it up. And Jaspers, it looked like Jaspers came up and hit in. He apparently spun out. Jaspers came up on the inside as the Miss Budweiser started to get power. I don't know what happened down there, but it looked like the 2 boats might have hit together, and it spun out to Jaspers, who was riding in second.
The Smokin' Joes went to the outside. Jasper with Mike Hansen went to the inside just as the Bud was starting up, and the 2 did collide, knocking the Jaspers out of the race into the infield. And I think there's a penalty forthcoming.
There's your leader right now, who so far has been untouched on the entire day. And again, we remind you, this would be the first time for this team to win 2 races back-to-back. And boy, are they getting excited about that. They're resting a little bit easier, knowing that the Miss Budweiser is well off the pace. Now, the second-place boat that was running second, as we look at an average of 137 miles per hour for Smokin' Joe's, the boat that was riding in second, Jaspers, engines and transmissions, spun out down there. They have now lost position on the field.
And it is official. The Budweiser has been disqualified for restarting and hitting the Jasper engines down there on the first turn, quarter number 2.
Well, we all know Mark Evans, and this is the first time that they've had that boat in competition. Only the second race day for Mark Evans with the Miss Budweiser team. He's not that kind of a driver. I'm sure he just didn't see the boat coming up there. Mike had no place to go. It was one of those things that happened. It was a right call. Here's the Smokin' Joe's Mark Tate. You talk about a guy that's got to be feeling awfully good right now as he's getting word on the radio as to the position of the other boat. Jaspers is back up and running, now trying to get up into third place, because here's the second place boat, Pico's American Dream. Wellness Plan is in third. Jasper is still trying to get up onto the rest of the field.
And the top of the right spots in the wellness plan driven by Jimmy King shows some damage now as we go into lap number 4 with about a lap and a half to go. Here comes the Budweiser, the black flag. He has returned to the pits as ordered.
Well, it's a disappointing finish, I'm sure, for the entire Budweiser crew. It was an unintentional situation that happened out there. I'm sure of that, too, but it did happen. They have been disqualified from the race, giving a clear field to the Smokin' Joes. That was the boat he was battling with when he hooked so bad down in turn number 1 right off the start. Smokin' Joe's was in clear water and right now continues in clear water. As the crew looks on, they know in unlimited hydroplane racing anything can happen. So 5th place is being held by Jaspers, which unfortunately was caught in an accident earlier today. There goes Smokin' Joe's on the inside of Mike Hansen. There's your 2nd place boat, Pico's American Dream.
And they're averaging about 135 miles an hour. Whoa, a rough ride there for the Pico's American Dream as he hits and about to lap the number 4 place boat, the Miss Bustler Enterprise with Jerry Hop.
Here comes your leader, and this is Mark Tate. He's going to go to the outside of the Miss Bustler. Coming down now, looking for the checkered flag. This has got to be a moment this crew will cherish for a long time, because it's been a long time coming. There's the flag flying for Mark Tate. He had a great run. He has had a great day. They have a boat that really has not suffered any damage at all. Probably the only boat in the fleet that can say that.
You think Steve Woomer's happy?
He deserves it. They've really worked hard. Here's 2nd place going off to Pico American Dream. Dave Vilwalk, they have had a somewhat tough day with engine problems. They had lost the engine mounts earlier. Here's your final results.
Smokin' Joe's, Pico American Dream, Wellness Plan, Miss Bustler, Jasper Engines, and the Budweiser disqualified.
Now, we had said earlier the Wellness Plan had a little bit of problem. They lost some of the decking on their right spots, and there you can see it. Jimmy King, though, manages, he's a rookie driver, to come in 3rd place. And let's go down to the docks.
2 wins in 2 weeks. You like it here in Indiana?
Well, it's been good to us this month. You know, the Smokin' Joe's been competitive all year, and it's just great to get 2 wins under our belt, and especially back-to-back. That's a first for Mark Tate and first for the team since I've been with him. And, you know, I just got to give all the thanks to my crew. You know, they just built a tremendous boat. A lot of busted-up equipment out there this weekend, and, you know, the old Camel, she just keeps on a-trucking.
Steve, you're going to have to buy real estate here.
Well, I'll tell you, we love it. We've never won 2 races back-to-back, and I'm telling you, we're real proud of Mark, the crew. I mean, they build a tremendous piece during the winter, and I just like to dedicate this race to Nikki Washer.
Nikki Washer, the daughter of popular crewman for Smokin' Joe's, Ken Washer, who met an untimely death recently. Here's the Eagle Snacks O'Doul's High Point Championship board. Shows the Miss Budweiser leading by 186 points. Coming from the trailer position, Pico's American Dream did very well today, and Dick's with him.
Well, Dave, I had to think when you got that trailer position, you thought, well, go for a ride, bring it home, see what you can do. 2nd place, man.
Yeah, we just, you know, the team never quits. I think Danny Walters showed me my a sign that's on my locker in the truck that says refuse to lose, never quit. And I think that's what the team did. They just, even though we were in a tough spot after we broke the engine mount in the first heat and it wouldn't go anymore, you know, we just had to try to claw our way back into there, try to keep the boat intact and go into the final and just try to take what comes to us and, you know, try to drive hard enough. And they gave me a good enough piece of equipment and we were able to run up through the pack.
Well, it's been a virtual demolition derby here in Madison, Indiana. Half the fleet in need of repair. They'll fix it and be back outside Dallas at the next race at Louisville Lake. And we'll be there covering all the action. The 1995 Hooters Unlimited Hydroplane Series is sanctioned by the American Powerboat Association and is a production of Diamond P Sports in association with ESPN.